Target shields offline.
So, welcome back everybody to another video of Elite Dangerous Gamma 1.05, and later on you'll see a few scenes of Gamma 2, which is, or has gone online yesterday. Unfortunately not quite as smooth as I'd hoped it to be, but still. Well, the first clip I showed you was more or less just because of the epic stage the star in the background or in the immediate vicinity more or less gave. This one is basically showing you one of the newer ships. This is called the Orca. It's quite a big ship. It's actually more of a transport than a battleship, and what I wanted to demonstrate here and with all the other clips in this video is basically that it really depends on the loadout of the enemies you're encountering when you're working as a bounty hunter, like I am currently doing. The problem that you get when you're facing them with something like this Sidewinder, which has a pretty limited scope of actions and he can take against these kind of ships. As you can see me here, I have targeted on this Orca the FSD drive, because I have had several accounts where I whittled down the enemy's health and he just jumps out. But I don't know if it's just because of the kind of weapons I'm using, but I didn't have any success with either the beam lasers or the cannons or multi-cannons in actually damaging specific components like this FSD drive faster than the hull of the spaceship itself, or the overall hull of the spaceship. And as you can see here, I have to maneuver very fast, and you've heard in the background already that his frame shift... sorry, too late already. His frame shift drive was spooling up and he escaped. So this is a little bit later. I think I've changed my weapon layout in favor of a more traditional one, because two beam lasers basically draw from the same capacitor. So if you have two beam lasers, you only have half as much capacity on the beam laser while you're shooting both than when you're employing something like a beam laser or in a projectile weapon or a missile weapon. As you can see here, I'm interdicted this Python. And this again, as you can see here, I'm not being shot at from below, so I've forwarded this clip here to show you. I haven't been shot at until now, and in a second you'll see that his beam lasers will, or no, sorry, that his top-mounted beam lasers will burst lasers will focus me, and as soon as I'll switch to the lower side, it's not a big problem anymore. As you can see here, his lower side is, or the weapons mounted in the lower side weapon spots seem to be forward facing, and with that I can basically use this to my advantage. I've had this in the most ridiculous fashion. I've used this against a federal dropship, which in the last video I said was one of the most the most difficult opponents for me as in a Sidewinder, because it's very maneuverable. But I've had a dropship where the actual blind spot from the weapons was right in front of the cockpit on the upper front side, or the upper front of it, right in the middle of the craft. So I was basically flying backwards right in front of his cockpit in plain view, because that was the only place where I could actually outmaneuver his weapons. If I strayed too far to the left or to the right, his side mounted turret weapons would get me, and he spotted several weapons below that were forward facing, so I couldn't get below his center line as well. And as you can see here, I've about had enough of this Python. I've whittled him down to 9% health, and 4%. He's turning around again. Now my shields, which are still the basic shields, by the way, have finally succumbed to his fire, and doing a little bit of firing, or extreme firing, because by now, after a few minutes time, actually the federal security forces jumping in and will assist you to the best of their abilities, which isn't much, but still has led to me actually losing 1 or 2 bounties because they interfered. And this is one of the clips I wanted to show you. This happens. This is a mostly harmless anaconda. But this is not mostly harmless because this guy is mounting multi-cannon turrets below, as you can see here. I'm in big trouble, and all the maneuvering I'm doing is not helping me at all. My shields are already almost down. Shields are down, so I'm using a beam laser and a fragmentation cannon here. Fragmentation cannon does quite good damage, but only has 3 shots. And as you can see, I'm getting hit here left, right, and center. 79% hull integrity already. And as you can see, a beautiful shot of his turrets firing away at me. And at this point I'm basically thinking, okay, he has turrets on the multi-gun turrets on the upper hull as well, so no other chance as to just get the hell out of there. So a little bit later, this is the first footage of the Gamma 2.0. This is actually an adder, one of the newer ships. I didn't know what to expect here, but the adder is basically, it seems very similar to the hauler, a little bit better, a little bit more spaces, internal component base and stuff. But this thing is so slow that you really have to watch out not to overshoot the craft even with your sidewinder. I'm not sporting very high-tech thrusters. I have upgraded my bulkheads to reinforced bulkheads, not military grade, but just plain reinforced ones. And I've upgraded my power generator, my power couplings, my life support, and just today I've upgraded my FSD drive so that I actually have an FSD range of about 60 light years, which for a sidewinder is quite impressive. As you can see here, I can stay in close proximity to him. You can really see beautiful ship details. And actually today I've checked my all the options and the settings, and I found out that this only runs at medium detail level right now. As you can see here, I haven't learned my lesson the first time over. This is another anaconda, and again I'm trying to get him down, and you can see me actually shooting here at him. He hasn't started firing at me, so at this point I assume, okay, he is probably using mostly forward-facing weapons. And as you can see here, I'm sped this up already, but I'm still working on the shields. And here, I think I'm about to discover that he has beam laser turrets. So I'm switching to the upper side, but that's still
Target shields
not better. I've finally cracked his shields, but
Under attack.
now you can see he finds his mark as well. And in a second you'll see my shields are going down. At this point I know that my only hope is to stay right behind him. There you can see shields offline.
Taking damage. Canopy compromised.
Getting hammered. There you can see that's basically the effect you have when you're firing the fragmentation cannon. And at this point I'm thinking, okay, there's no point in me trying to engage this guy anymore. You can see his shields are actually regenerating already, and now he's shooting missiles at me. There's the missile. Ouch. 30% health or hull integrity, and out we go. And I've killed Wedge Antilles. Sorry if this is a spoiler, but he was wanted, and I've always been more of a Empire guy, so sorry Wedge, but as you can see here, this is what I've talked about with the Federal dropships as well. He can't quite get his guns to bear on me, and he's using at this stage because he's just a novice AI. He's using forward-facing weapons on the Asp, and he couldn't get the guns to bear on me, and I can basically run circles around him. And again, this is only on the medium detail settings, so oops. The textures actually look quite a bit better now that I've turned it up again. I don't know why they reset it, but that's one of the gripes I have with the latest gamma testing. I'll show you a few more outtakes or little bugs that I found. Some of them are already fixed again. Basically, whenever they this is actually a bug that is known already. When you're not using a standard English language operating system, and you're downloading a new installer for Elite, it actually resets all your settings. So the first thing I've encountered was that my key bindings were all gone, and when I thought I had everything, I noticed that I missed the select key, and had to do this in a combat situation, which was not very nice. And this is one of the other things. This was still in Gamma 1. I actually found this bug by accident. As you can hear, there seems to be a little problem with the sound when you're hitting debris with your beam lasers, and this was one of the other things. I think they fixed this already as well. The sound bug is already fixed. When you're trying to close in on a low energy FSD wake, which basically means that a ship has dropped out of hyperspace there, and you want to drop in behind him, the distance shown is wrong and you can't actually drop out of hyperspace. So, thanks for watching and hope to see you either in game or at the next one. Bye!